My name is Ken. I'm with Lars Remodeling and Design. I'm here with Frank and Jennifer.
Hello.
We're going to talk a little bit about your project. Framing is largely complete. Windows just went in yesterday. Everything is moving right along, but the home is in a major phase of transformation right now. So it's fun to kind of walk through this right now before it all finishes up. I wanted to ask you just a couple of questions. First of all, why Lars? Why did you decide to go with us?
I think when we started looking at the remodel and what we want to accomplish and the scope of it, right? You guys had a vision. You could put some details to that vision in a way we could see it, as the process would entail. We saw the budgeting aspect of it. That was part of it from the beginning. So we kind of understood what the commitment would be. Also, just like the reputation online that we saw, and just asking folks. Even my next door neighbor just stopped me just now talking about how he's been using Lars some form of fashion for like 35 years, and some of the homes he built because he's a real estate entrepreneur. I think all those things together just made this the right choice for us.
I'd also say the process, like we were really impressed with how it was all going to be in-house. And so it wasn't talking to an architect and then talking to budget and hoping that like that would work. It was all built in together. And I think that's really what helped us. And I think that was going to save a lot of time as well. So that's part of the reason.
When you think about this project, it's a big project. We're doing the entire home. We are redoing everything. We're adding square footage. What are you most excited about with your project?
I can't wait for the countertops to come in.
Yes, all the beautiful things, right?
And to be able to live here again too.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Sure, absolutely.
Well, that's a really part of it, right? We love this neighborhood. It's part of the reason why we chose to remodel instead of doing something else, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the exciting part is just to be back in our neighborhood in a house that's way more livable and what we want, and something that we could be here for decades to come, So that's going to be like a really exciting part,
And you have a home that is historical, not designated historical, but it's been here since the 30s.
1927.
Yeah, 27.
27, yeah.
It's been here since 1927. We're standing in the living room. There was a fireplace behind you. We demoed it. We're about to rebuild it. There was a wall that was here, and this was the end of the living room right here. There was another wall here that compartmentalized this space, right? Mm-hmm. So now we're looking at more of an open plan concept where we're flowing in. We absorbed what was an office. Now is more of a great room. The living room and dining room is now connected as well.
There's a door to the kitchen too, which was always weird.
Right. So the kitchen was very segmented, right? If you're in there, you felt disconnected from everything else that was happening in the home. It wasn't easy to like carry a conversation between rooms. Now everything flows, everything's connected, and the space feels a lot bigger, right? Which is fun to see. Are there any particular design elements as part of the kitchen that you're especially excited about?
I love our island that steps down into the table. I think it's gonna be really great use of space. Mm-hmm. And then just being able to kind of have different sections of the kitchens for different things, like having our beverage center over here, kind of out of the way. And then we'll have built-in dog bowls as well, because that's important. The dogs have to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Obviously sink over here, dishwasher, we're gonna have a beautiful stove with like a nice backsplash. And then a whole wall, refrigerator, cabinets. Frank gets a snack drawer, which he's very excited about.
Yeah, that was critical, I believe. Yeah.
I think this would be a great space. And like I said, I never thought of doing something like a island to a table, but we're super excited about that. So
let's take a look at another part of the house. Tell us about this room. This room wasn't here before.
No, this is all new. This is going to be a multi-purpose room. We kind of plan on using it as a guest room / office. So we'll plan to put a bed here and like a desk here. We're able to put all these windows in to keep, because we love this pepper tree right here. Like it's an old growth tree.
Yeah.
And so you could really see that we'll be able to see that from here. So really, really excited. It's also another access point to get to the backyard.
Right.
Because before this, the old office was the only access point, but when we get to the bedroom, we'll see another. But this access point, dog door will go right there. Mm-hmm. Very important.
Yeah. So this is the primary bedroom.
It is.
It used to end right here.
Mm-hmm. And you could fit maybe a full bed in here.
but not two
Maybe a-
nightstand.
yeah.
Not two nightstands.
Mine
Only
is- yeah.
one full bed
One full
and
bed,
one
one
nightstand.
nightstand.
Small nightstand, like a shelf.
Right. We knew we needed a little bit more space.
Yes.
We wanted room for bed, room for nightstands,
And closet.
and closet was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So whereas this was a small compartmentalized room before, now we have a sliding glass door that leads to a rear deck. We have more natural light coming in. We have 25% more space in this room, in the bedroom proper. But not only that, it leads to a new walk-in closet, which is going to be
And access
phenomenal.
to the deck, which we didn't have before from here. We'd
No.
have to go all the way around to the other side of the house.
That's right. So now you have this way out to the backyard. You have other means as well, but just giving the home a little bit more flexibility to work well for you guys. The deck is about to go in.
Yes.
That's all very exciting.
Yeah.
The deck is going to have a hot tub.
Yes.
It's going to have this outdoor space. The yard was underutilized before, right?
It really was, and it goes to decades of use of the house. At one point there was a pool here. There's other things. Just didn't serve needs anymore, right? And so the deck is definitely designed for us, right? So I think that's going to be a huge win.
And it had all those steps.
Yeah.
So it was a very usable space.
Yeah, it was a weird design based on other designs, and it was also
Rotting.
It was it kind of stopped being safe. So definitely that was a part of the consideration of the whole project, was just the refurbishment of everything. So
Very exciting to not just look at the core of the project, but making sure that we're looking at all of the ways in which that the house can come together.
we found out that the fireplace was
Cracked.
separating from the house. It would have been an earthquake hazard, right? So those things had to change, right? Being able to, we kept with the initial design, but able to adjust and refocus. That was hopefully it's a win for the design.
Can you explain your experience through that? So there are a few things that came up. We would call them discoverables, right? Things we couldn't have necessarily known about early on. They weren't necessarily a part of the initial plan, but there was those things that we discovered after demolition. Can you describe kind of what that's been like?
I think it's a very transparent process, right? Something gets discovered, whether it's some framing that's rotted, or some pretty large things like a roof that is really just no longer serviceable, or the fire, like we talked about the fireplace. And then, then we talk about, what does this mean? What are our options? How do we integrate into the project? What are our choices? And then we make a decision, and then pretty quickly, I think it gets integrated into the plan, right? So that seems pretty successful so far, for the most part. And there's some other things too we haven't talked about, like the house pre-existing had solar, right? So when we had to replace the roof, we also had to integrate the solar company, a third-party solar company, in removing the panels and putting back on. And so that was helpful too. Or that's something that we didn't have to do on our own, because that would have taken time and engineering expertise that we just didn't have, right? So that kind of sort of immediate planning was really helpful.
So you felt like you had a good partner with Lars through the whole process so far?
I would say so. And like I said, we get discovered stuff, we talk about it, and I mean, typically if it involves safety or the structure, we have to come to an answer, right? So and the answer is always pretty reasonable, right? So I think so.